Hey guys, what's up? It's PJ here, and today we are doing the 7th video in the Java 2D platformer series. And in the last video, we added player movement, like jumping, and yeah, that's basically all we did. We finished the jumping and the falling. So now in this video, we're gonna add blocks. So like Mario, it's like a tile map, I guess is what it's called. So to get started, let's go into our game state abstract class, and we're going to add another variable. I'm going to call, actually two variables, protected int x, actually protected double x offset, y offset. Now, in our constructor, we're just going to set this.x offset equals 0, and this.y offset equal to 0. Now, the reason we're doing this is so when we move, we want to go farther through the map, or in the other case, backwards through the map. So to do that, we actually move the blocks across the screen rather than moving the player. The player stays static on the middle of the screen, well, for the most part, and then the blocks move. So, yeah. So in here, instead of, geez, I'm having trouble talking. In the player class, instead of moving the player variables, we're going to do GameState.xOffset. Now, I should probably do... Can I do that? Will that work? I don't know. Let's see. No, I have to change it to public. Okay. Well, they're going to be public static variables. Now, okay. So basically, we're going to change those instead of changing the actual player position. And that'll move the position of enemies and the map. So, oh no, y offset for this one. And state.y offset. Okay, so now that we've got that done, let's go into the, let's create a new package first, actually. We're going to call this whatever you want, and then add the dot game and then objects. Alright, and then in here, let's create a new class, and we'll call this block. So each block, when we create it, is going to take in not block. Jeez. It's going to take in an integer in x, an integer y. And then it's going to have an integer value called block size, and that's going to be 32. So the width and the height of each block will be 32. And let's make this block class extend rectangle so we can have easier collisions with it. Let's add ourselves a serial version. Static final long serial version UID equals 1 long. Okay. So when we go in the constructor, we're going to set the bounds to x, y, tile size, block size, my bad. Block size. Okay. So in this, we're going to add a draw method. So basically, what we're going to do is if x plus block size is greater than or equal to 0, and no, or, no. I don't know what I'm doing. We'll just change that later. So g.fillRect xy with height. Okay, now what we want to do is we're going to create another class, and this class is going to be in a package. I guess we'll call it physics. It's not really physics, but it's going to be a collision class. Now this is going to hold all of the collision methods. These are all going to be static methods. So public static Boolean player block we'll call it. So what this is going to do, it's going to take in a point P and a block B. So now what it's going to do is it's going to say, it's going to return B.contains P. So if this point, which will be a point on the player, is inside one of the blocks, it's going to return true. If it's not, it's going to return false, and that will give us the effect of a collision. So if we go back to the player class, actually, let's go back to level 1 state, and let's just create a few blocks. Later, we're going to actually create a map class to like store a map. But for now, what we're going to do, just to test this out, is create a few blocks on the screen. So what we're going to do is b1 equals new block 100, 100. b2 equals new block 200, 200. And b3 equals new block 300, 300. Now we're going to do b1.drawG, b2.drawG, and b3.drawG. You know, actually, let's put this into an array. Equals a new block 3. So that way we can pass in an array. So B0, B2, B1, and B2. Now in the draw method, we're just going to loop through int I equals 0, I is less than b dot length, I is less than b dot length, I plus plus. Now bi dot drawG. So now if we run this, we should get some scattered blocks on the screen. No, it did not work. Let's see. Okay. Let's just initialize this in here. Whoa! New block 3. Let's try that out instead. There we go. So now we have some blocks which are 32 by 32. And we're actually going to change this to block size to be 64. Why not? So this will give us a bit of a bigger effect with the player here. And we're actually going to scooch. I'm sorry for how slow this tutorial is going. I'm kind of playing this by ear. I haven't really done anything with this, so it's a bit just pulling it out of my butthole. Alright, so let's get started on collisions. Now in this tick method, what we're going to do is we're just going to take, for now, we're just going to take in an array of blocks, and we'll call it B. So in here, we're going to loop through the array. For int I is equal to 0, I is less than b dot length I plus plus. Now, so what we're gonna do is if collision. So let's do the right side collision right now. Right. So right. If collision dot player block. Now we're gonna pass in a point, new point. So this is gonna be x plus width y. So that'll be the top right corner of the player, and bi. Why is it not working? Oh, that would do it. We gotta cast ints to this. You know what we'll do? In here, I'll just say int ix equals int x, int iy equals int y. Okay, so we'll just use ix and iy for this. Iy. Alright, so if collision between those, or collision dot player block ix plus width iy plus height and bi. So now it's the bottom right corner that we're going to check collision for. New point. Okay, that is quite a long if statement, huh? What I'll do is I'll just split it at there. Okay. So, let's see, what do I have to do here? Now, the block should, let's go back to the block class and do x minus gamestate dot x offset and y offset, because these need to be drawn like moving. So yeah. Yeah. Let's see. Now we should actually add a tick method here, and what we'll do is set x equals this. No. Yeah, let's do that instead. So let's copy this whole thing and delete this. So x will be equal to that, and y will be equal to that. So that will actually change the actual position of it when we're drawing, and so the collision will work as well. So now let's test this out. B, and then what we'll do is in this tick we'll do for int I equals 0, I is less than b dot length I plus plus, and bi dot tick. Okay, so now if we run this, let's see. Whoa, that's a little bit too fast. I don't know what's happening here. Oh no. Okay. I know what's happening. Yeah, that's why we couldn't do that. Okay. The problem was it was subtracting the x offset every single time and the y offset every single time it ticks. So it was just continuing to rise, which is not what we want. So I gotta think about how this will work. It's a bit slow. Let's go back to the player. Let's make this move speed a little bit more interesting. Move speed, private double to move speed equals 2.5. So in here we'll just do x offset plus equals move speed, x offset minus equals move speed. Okay, that works. And let's move this guy over to 500, or 300, so we can check our right collision. Let's see. Okay, so if that we gotta actually do something with it. If that collision is true, then right will equal false. Okay, so that did not work. So what we'll do is the point that we pass in will also add the game state dot x offset on and y and game state dot y offset on, and those need to be cast to integers as well. I'm sorry if this is very hard to follow along. I will try to plan this a lot better next time. Kind of went into this video kind of blind. I didn't really think about what I was going to do. So hopefully that fits. Yeah, okay. So let's try that now. So now we can see as we collide, it stops. We can't move. And if we jump, we start falling. We haven't added a falling collision now. So let's do the left-hand side. Left if collision player block new point ix iy for the top right corner, and we have to add the x offset and the y offset. And don't forget to cast those as integers. And then we gotta pass in our bi. And that is not right. Oh, collision dot player block. Okay, and we'll add, we'll go down a line. Or collision dot player block new point ix plus game state dot x offset, and then iy plus height plus game state dot y offset. Now basically what this is the bottom left corner, and we'll pass in bi. Okay, I forgot to cast the integer again, so let's do that one more time. Int, and yeah. So what we'll do here is left equals false. Now we can test this out on this guy. Yeah, we can't go through the left. Alrighty. Now, whoops. What happened there? Okay. Now we'll do a top collision. So, if collision dot player block new point ix plus int game state dot x offset iy plus games or plus int game state y offset and bi, or collision dot player block new point x plus width plus int game state dot x offset y r not x ix iy plus int game state dot y offset and bi. So if that's true, we'll just say jumping equals false. And therefore falling would equal true. So now we can test that here. Boom, false. Okay. Cool beans. So the left, right, and bottom collisions work, but no top collision yet. So let's try it. Let's do that. If collision dot player block new point ix plus ix plus int game state dot x offset and iy plus height plus int game state dot y offset bi, or wow, this is long. Dot player block. This will be it for the tutorial, though. We'll finish this and then we'll be done. New point ix plus int game state dot x offset ix plus width plus that, and iy plus height plus int game state dot y offset, and in here we'll have bi. Okay, let's see. Falling equals false. And we'll do falling equals false, break, else falling equals true. So what this will do is, I think this will work. Let's see how this works out. Oh geez, it works. We kind of get stuck there, but I'll have to fix that. I don't know why I can't move. Alright, so we have all the collisions added. I'm going to refine them next video. But that's really it for this video. Thank you guys very much for watching. I know it was a really long, probably pretty boring video, but it had to be done. So yeah, thank you guys very much. Leave a like, subscribe, leave a comment, ask questions, anything. I'm glad to help. See you next time.